Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another retro gaming review. And now I bring you Afterburner for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This came out in 1988, courtesy of Activision, and is a coin-op conversion of the Sega arcade machine of the same name, in which you piloted an F-14 Tomcat and had to basically fly along and shoot down enemies with your machine guns and your limited amount of missiles. So, keyboard, press fire to continue. Need to figure out what fire is. And here we are on the aircraft carrier. And off we go. And you can do a loop like that just by pressing either left or right twice in quick succession. Because some Spectrum joysticks only have one fire button. Unfortunately, this means that the machine guns fire automatically. There is supposed to be sound, there seems to be something wrong with the emulator. Moving on to the next stage. Considering what the Spectrum's having to deal with, it runs at a pretty fast rate. God, I nearly got hit by those missiles there. It's so smooth when you go into that barrel roll. Damn, I got hit by one of those missiles. Probably all of them. Trouble is, I haven't got any missiles left. They'd be showing in the bottom right corner, so that's a bit unfortunate. So it's made it a lot harder for myself. Right. Oh, give me some means of rearming myself, please. Speak of the devil. And now I'm getting some missiles and getting refueled. It's loaded in the next multi-load section. And if you press the space bar, you get a momentary speed boost. God, that was close. It is a shame that there's no sound, because even the 48K Spectrum version is supposed to have some sound for bullets and sound and explosions. So there must be something wrong with the ROM. Oh, I'm running low on ammo again. Oh God, that was close. Ooh, running low on ammo. I've got to be really careful. Oop. Oh, so annoying. They're supposed to be sound. And when you see those red lights flashing, that's where that usually, I believe that, from what I recall, that means that the enemy's got a lock on you. Shite. I've only got 7 missiles left. Really need another of those planes or something. Please. Oh, this will do. And I get refueled by some tanks and rearmed by a bunch of upside down exclamation marks. Yeah, I know they're supposed to be people, but at least I've got some ammo. This really is really well done. It's so playable. Damn it, I got hit. I just wish I could let you see this, hear the sound in this. Just that something must be wrong with the ROM, or unless I've completely missed something. I mean, if I later manage to get the sound to work, then I'll consider doing a re-upload. Shit! I was trying to barrel roll to get him off my arse, but it didn't quite work out like that. Oh god, I've got another one of those shitheads on my tail. Come on then. I actually managed to slow down there. Well, it got him off my tail anyway. One thing that's kind of irritating is that many computer formats actually got a game based on the Top Gun a film that came out a couple of years before this did, and though they turned that into a boring aerial dogfight which had wireframe / vector graphics, and it really wasn't nearly as exciting as this. In some ways, this is everything that Top Gun should have been and wasn't. Looks like we're going into the canyon. Yeah, I thought correctly. But don't really get to fire much in the way of missiles here. It's mostly based on your automatically firing cannons, which have unlimited ammo, and of course trying to avoid smashing into the canyon walls. Considering the complexity of Afterburner, there's a pretty good frame rate. Admittedly, those canyon wall sections look a bit blocky when you get up close, but if it means that it keeps the speed going, I'm willing to let it off that, since everything else about the experience is so good. Shit, I hit the wall. Oh, it looks like I managed to pick up extra life or two somewhere along the line, because there was a point where I only had two lives left, shown in the bottom left corner under where it says my speed. back up into the air again, and another multi-load. I see. When you're more ammo. Right, plenty of ammo now. Now to bust some heads. Look how fast this is. It's incredible. I still remember one of my brother's friends coming around and being surprised when he saw that there was a Spectrum version of Afterburner. He sort of went, no. And then I put this on, and his jaw couldn't have dropped harder to the floor. I'm surprised it didn't make a metallic clang. Shit. I've got hit again. Oh, I've got hit again. I mean, admittedly, the graphics are in monochrome, but there's no way there wouldn't have been tons of colour clash if they tried to put colour in on the main display. But they managed to sneak some in other ways, like on the edges and the decoration all around the playing area. And it's not a tiny playing area either. It's oh god damn it! Little bit of colour clash where the black meets the green on those stripes near the bottom left and bottom right corner of the screen, though, but couldn't really be helped under the circumstances. It doesn't impact on gameplay at all either, so I just wish I could show you the sounds and the music. Well, game over. I think I'm going to end the review there. So that's Afterburner for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. A really good conversion considering the platform it's on. And it runs at a more than respectable pace, and I didn't get time to finish keying on. I hate it when oh god, the emulation's glitched. But anyway, back to the review. So, graphics, really enjoyable to look at. Even though they're monochrome, they've done a really good job of replicating the F-14 Tomcat. And you even get you even get that bit where you see it take off from the aircraft carrier, and it recedes into the distance, and then smoothly goes into the air, and you gradually see it come towards you as the camera zooms in on it, and then you take over the action. That was absolutely superb. I mean, it doesn't look like much from the 2020 perspective, but for a Spectrum 8-bit game dating back to 1988, that is really good. Really impressed with that. Look at the medals in the rank section on that high school table. That's a nice touch as well. So yeah, so the graphics are smoothly animated, and I didn't see any slowdown whatsoever. Even when you're doing a barrel roll, which is primarily used to avoid missiles and other things that are attacking from behind. Oh yeah, I was really impressed with those. Focus CE Limited, very good job on the graphics. Now, I would score the sound, but as you can tell, for some reason I just couldn't get it to work, except for those beeps that you just heard when there was that loading error. Bear in mind there are supposed to be sounds, but I'm not gonna let the sound impact on the gameplay. Although on the review score, although I have heard the 48K sound effects, and they're pretty good considering the limitations of the sound that the 48K Spectrum could produce. at the time of this review, I'd yet to hear the 128K version, and as you saw from the menu options earlier, you could have a choice between sound and music. I just couldn't get it to work for some damn reason. As I said, it's probably a problem with this specific emulation, but gameplay, smooth, slick, fast, collision detection's good, hit detection is also really good. Every time I got hit, I genuinely did get hit, so I can't complain about that. And there wasn't any point where I was saying I clearly hit that enemy and he didn't die. I didn't see any of that. And the only times when it looked like it did was when there was actually more than one aeroplane to shoot down. So don't be put off by the fact that it's in monochrome and it might have graphics that might make users of other systems laugh. Gameplay is particularly where it's important, especially on limited machines like those of the 8-bit era, such as the Spectrum, which we're looking at here. And the gameplay is superb. The only real complaint I could really have about it is the fact that your machine guns fire automatically. It does mean that there's not as much to do as there was in the original arcade, but there wasn't really anything they could do about that because Spectrum joysticks only had one fire button. They didn't really have independent fire buttons like you had on the consoles and the 16-bit computers of the time. So I don't really see what else they could have really done. So, and the difficulty curve is about right as well. I can't complain about that either. So I'm going to give Afterburner on the Spectrum 8 out of 10. Very good conversion. Just that slight niggles like that gameplay issue I just mentioned about not having as much to do because of the machine guns firing automatically. You only fire missiles yourself, but the rest of it is as was expected, and I'm really impressed with this conversion, and I think if anyone were to try it and bore in mind the limitations of the hardware at the time, I really think they would enjoy it too. So that's my review of the Spectrum version of Afterburner. I'm just sorry I couldn't get any sound to work on this version, but hope you nonetheless enjoyed what you saw. Texie88 out.